Brian, this right here is going to be the clip. I know it for sure. Okay? We're about to talk about Dan Snyder.
I hate to plug other podcasts, but did you watch the other podcast?
I didn't finish it, no. I did. I was watching it, though.
Okay.
I'm just starring it.
It's not going to be that much fireworks, I promise you.
Oh, it should be.
It should be.
Come on.
You're already starting to rile me up. I'm trying to calm down. Shut the fuck up and get on.
No.
All right, introduce the segment, motherfucker.
All right, so this has been a running topic on this podcast since the shit started.
I'm lighting another cigarette.
Besides all the hate that K-Dot has for the Raiders and Mark Davis in terms of ownership.
Stupid haircuts.
Yep, that too.
And that's a life choice.
An equal amount of hatred, if not more, for the owner of his team, Dan Snyder. He's been wanting him to sell the team even after all the reports came out from the Washington Post about all the crazy shit that was going on within the organization. That was a fun rant to hear.
My leg is shaking.
Oh, your leg is shaking? Good. I like that. All right. So it came out this week that Dan Snyder said he's going to buy the other 40% from the minority owners. And
I'm not fucking leaving.
Ownership of the team. He's not leaving.
Not leaving.
You had hope that he was going to be gone, but looks like he's going to be here to stay for the rest of the time.
I'm not fucking leaving. Sorry, go ahead, K-Dot. So is yours.
How do you feel?
Seeing that news story pop up on my phone was the equivalent of pretend that I'm 7 years old.
Okay.
Watching TV with my parents and telling them like, oh, Mom, Dad, look, I really want that for Christmas, right? I really, really want that toy for Christmas. And my parents are like, okay, now I grew up in a household in which we didn't believe in Santa Claus ever because we were a struggling family. So it'd be the equivalent of like seeing that commercial, but then my parents say, Dad just got a raise at work. And it's a lot more money than we've ever seen. So it's like this anticipation builds, right? My parents, they're late picking me up from school and they're like, oh, sorry, we had to go pick something up from the store. Wink, wink, nod, nod. And you're like, oh my God, it's going to happen, right? Then the night before, your parents are wrapping gifts and you look under the tree and it's like, oh my God, it's the shape of the toy that I want. Like it's right there. Then Christmas morning, I wake up all wide-eyed and bushy-tailed and run downstairs and first thing I do is rip open the wrapper of this thing. Now I'm opening up the box and oh my God, it's the case. It's right there. I got the toy. And I open it up and it's a Ziploc bag full of uncut baby dicks. And it's like, what the fuck? What? What just happened? What did you do? What is going on? They have been teasing Washington fans for years. This was finally it. This was it. We got the billionaire in Jeff Bezos who can buy gods if he wanted to, sniffing around the fucking team. You got a sexual harassment investigation that all sounds point directly to Dan. You have an NFL that's looking at this organization being like, no shit, they're doing certain things right, but I mean, everything is negative tied up into the franchise is all tied to this one guy. Maybe this is our easy out. And the NFL not only does Dan not pull this Jedi mind trick and buying it, he gets the NFL to sanction off to let go of the rule they have with how much debt an owner could have to clear the way so that he can make the purchase. Fuck everyone involved in this shit. This is the worst. It is the worst news I've ever had as a Washington football team fan. Ever. No, ever. This is the worst news I've ever had. You know why? How old is Dan Snyder?
You want me to give you 50? You want me to give you the worst?
Hold on. How old is Dan Snyder?
I don't know.
50?
I'm 30-something years old, which means this cocksucker is going to own this team the rest of my fucking life.
Yep.
There's no out now. If they couldn't get rid of him behind all this shit, that the league actually had to make an exception for him, then I have to live the rest of my days knowing that this asshole is in charge of this organization. Even today, I drive over to Virginia to buy cigarettes because cigarettes in DC are $12, $14 a pack, right? And I got to drive past where that asshole lives. And every time I do, you know what? I'm not going to say that on the podcast. Never mind. But fuck me, man. Fuck me. This is bullshit.
You see what I just texted you? That was the worst news.
Sean Taylor was a tragedy. This is just anger.
Fair.
I've never felt bad in this sort of sense. There was nothing you could look. Sean Taylor was senseless and it was dumb. And yeah, I still harbor feelings over what Mike Wilbon said after all that shit happened. But
what did he say?
When Mike Wilbon basically wrote an article saying that if you live a certain gangster lifestyle, you do this, that, and the other, you got to kind of expect certain things to come back. And that was before everything had come out about what had actually happened with Sean, which there's still people in D.C. Mike Wilbon and Tony Kornheiser are legends in D.C. Everybody that I know that respected both of those guys, while they still respect Kornheiser, because Kornheiser never jumped that far, Mike Wilbon always leaves a bad taste in every Washingtonian's mouth. Because, I mean, Mike Wilbon and Kornheiser, they are DC sports. Mm-hmm. And to see what Wilbon said, we still haven't forgiven him for that.
No, I understand it.
So before Dan Snyder was the owner, Washington had 3 Super Bowls, 5 NFC championship
games. Those are the 22 years before Dan was.
And in the 22 years since, they have 0 Super Bowls, played in 0 NFC championship games, and obviously have won 0.
The only silver lining with any of this shit is that maybe on some. Oh, and I also saw Chase Young's about to be on Celebrity Family Feud with like the NFL Players Association. That's a big move for Chase Young. Just saying, you're now looking at one of the faces of the entire NFL is on my squad. Just putting it out there. The idea. You know, there's certain things I want to say, but then it's like I'm going too far just because I know my anger is like kind of boiling to a tippy top. But all right, to try to make it better, the only thing that I could take as a silver lining is that the organization, from an organizational standpoint, is running probably better than it ever has. There is something that is said that leaves a little pit in your stomach that realizes, like, none of this stuff is real. Like, there's real consequences in the sense of, like, who it is we're hiring, people actually getting jobs, people actually doing this, which is good things, right? But if you're looking at the motives behind it, none of it's good. Like, this is all Dan Snyder's just PR shit.
Yep.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, you just kind of like hold your nose and take your medicine and like hopefully it all works out. But Lord knows there's going to be a little part of me that dies inside if we win a championship and seeing that cocksucker hoist the Lombardi trophy. There's still going to be the same response from every Washington fan. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Jason Wright. Thank you, front office and everybody. Fuck you, Dan Snyder.
Well, other Washington football news. Apparently, you guys might keep the name.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
That's one that I'm actually struggling a bit with because the longer we go on with it, the more I think it is kind of lit that we're just the Washington football team. Like there is something kind of hard about it that I'm kind of feeling like as we're going on. Like it's just this back to basics. Then not to mention like even last year when you were looking at the NFC East, where
football.
You trash talk against other teams. To be able to say like you lost to a team with no name is fucking dope. Like we don't even.
Or you can say that you don't have a name. You're so indecisive. You can't create a name.
But I mean, but you motherfuckers like soccer, where it's just XY football club, right? Where they don't have to be all that creative with shit. To think in the NFL, is it cooler to be the Washington football team, or is it cooler to be a Detroit Lion where there are no fucking Lions in Michigan? Like, is it cooler to be the Washington football team, or is it okay with having just some nonsensical bullshit? Are you a Cincinnati Bengal? Rawr. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, it doesn't.
At least you got a name. Like, I mean, if you want to just be different, like a contrarian. Like,
do I want to be the Washington football team or the Washington Wizards?
There's not a single wizard in Washington, D.C.
Absolutely not. No one wants to be a fucking wizard. You'd rather be the Washington basketball team. Like, you just don't want.
Nah,
like, I'd rather we do this than
cool,
fuck it up.
The Wizards are kind of cool.
No, it's not. No, it's not. There's nothing cool about the Wizards. There's no one. Even the motherfucker that came up with the name, who was some child in the contest that they had, is probably kicking themselves. Like, I could never believe that they were actually going to pick this. I was 6 years old. What the fuck were they doing?
Why did they choose this?
It was dumb. There's just dumb names in sports. Like,
you
there's
guys
just
had
names
a cool
that don't make
logo
sense.
when Gilbert was there.
The Wizard, the W Wizard. You're out of your fucking mind. No one here in the city likes the Wizards. Are you out of your, what the fuck? We all want the Bullets back, but they're carjacking motherfuckers every other day
the
now.
Bullets
So
is better. The Washington Bullets is better.
It's just at least having a team name that's tied to something. And the thing is, the more that we go on with this, like I want Red Wolves, but even I'm looking at Red Wolves and I'm kind of like, it's a little lame. Then even when you're looking at like people want Red Sails, which is cool because you have the story, they're not going to name them the Red Sails. Like we had it was a slur, but it was a cool name as far as what we used to have.
It wasn't cool.
It was pretty cool, but it was fucked up, but it was kind of cool.
It wasn't cool.
It was cool. Motherfucker, you lost all credibility when you think the Wizards are cool. So I don't want to hear what you think is cool and not cool.
I don't care. I don't care. You lost the credibility and you thought that name was cool.
What? The
old name.
The R words?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
the Washington R words. Boom.
It was pretty dope.
That should be the name, the Washington R word.
No, because R word means something else mostly.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, you're right. Never mind. All right.
Well, he could just offend everybody.
Yeah, my bad.
But Washington football's look. I don't do it. If I had my choice, do I want us to stay that? No. But the longer we go on, the more like everything, you get used to it. And the more you get used to something, the harder it is to change. Because it's what people always rebel against is change. Same way that no one can think that motherfuckers get used to a pandemic with thousands of people dying every day. We definitely got used to a pandemic with thousands of people dying every day. So much so that Joe Biden just did a press conference for an hour. Reporters did not ask him one question about the pandemic. That's how far we've fallen. Well, I'm just saying, people get used to shit.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, I'm cool with the whiff.
All right.